Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Healers Unlocked, where we are in conversation with our alumni, Tina Goyal. And might I say, you've been with ICFN, you've been with iThrive for a while now. So, Tina, please just tell us about yourself.
Hi, Shagun. It feels so good to be coming back to iThrive. And in conversation with you, it feels like a full circle. Like 3 years back, if somebody would have told me to talk about health and nutrition, I would have probably scoffed and handed them a cupcake, asking them, giving them from my brand, Yours Sinfully, my baking brand back then. So I'm actually a commerce student, and
Oh,
I've done my post graduation in finance and marketing. And now, after that, I became a baker, and I had a successful baking journey with my brand, Yours Sinfully. Who knows that how life transforms? And I'm sitting here as a functional nutritionist. The only cakes that are being baked in the house are the millet cakes, and
wow.
that also using monk fruit and other
Healthy.
sweeteners, which are like healthy. Everything like is healthy and nutritious in my kitchen, which is a very different story to what it was back then.
So, what a journey it's been for you. I mean, for somebody who does not even come from a science background to becoming a baker to now becoming a successful functional nutritionist, what was the frustration gap that led you here to this journey?
So Shagun, very interestingly, it all stemmed from my children. So, the entire awakening that happened was not from a book or from a course which excited me. It was actually from my children. So back then, my 14-year-old son, he was diagnosed with obesity, like it was a morbid case of obesity. I started noticing that he started developing these black velvety patches behind his neck in the folds of his skin. And that's when I took him to the doctor and he said that he could be insulin resistant. So, it was just a wake up call that time.
Yeah,
And I
for a
was like,
mother to
such a
hear that.
Yes, yes. And for such a young boy to be facing a problem like that was something I was internalizing, and I was thinking that how my actions could be contributing to something that he's facing right now. So we overhauled our lifestyle completely, and out went all the junk and the processed foods, and even my beloved Ganesh. And in came all the healthy, nutritious food. Only ingredients which were perishable were used in our kitchen.
Mm.
Nothing which came out of a packet was actually part of our cooking. And it also, all this happened during the COVID times,
Oh,
and this journey was very beautiful because all of us are involved in, like, rolling out fresh pastas, making fresh doughs, and maybe, cutting fresh vegetables, making sure that our plate looked colorful. And, the transformation was seen that he became not only a fit man, but a young, energetic, and a confident person he is, and who's now giving me gyan about the macros and the micros. So,
that
so it's
that is
been,
so lovely.
yeah, and I see that in him, and he's pursuing his engineering, and he's living by himself, but at the same time, he's making sure that the food that he's eating is like to top level, as colorful a plate. He's taking care of his proteins, he's taking care of his micros. So it's been such a win-win journey for me that I feel that this transformation has given a new life to our entire family.
I can understand. I mean, to actually change something that was conventionally it would have just been कि अपना diet सुधारो या exercise करो. But to
Yeah,
change everything from scratch to ensuring that now he's such a confident man, he's doing everything on his own, figuring out life, diet, studies, everything. So that's actually a win for you as a parent as well, I can imagine. But
completely.
at what point did it shift from like, I want to understand health for my family to I want to help others do this too?
So this entire journey got me very curious because I wanted to know more, that why certain foods are healing and why certain foods are causing inflammation. And then it also got me wondering that there is so much of illness around us and there is so much of medical advice. However, why are we not feeling well? Why are we all stuck in that same vicious circle of what to do, what not to do? And that's when I crossed my paths with iThrive. A friend of mine, she got me introduced to Mukta and to iThrive Academy.
Oh,
And what intrigued me most about this was that how they treat lifestyle, health, nutrition, diet as a modality to heal even the worst of conditions in our system.
correct. But like, did you search for other courses, or was this just the clear-cut answer for you? Your friend told you about iThrive Academy, and it was
Yeah,
like in your mind, "Okay, okay, let me see if there's something better." Or
yeah.
you were convinced your friend was like a
So, my friend was always in her wellness journey, and she's a
okay.
well-researched person. That was one thing that I could take her word for it. But I did my due diligence as well. That I went around, because by that time my curiosity had already led me to hear out functional nutritionists at the global level, like Mark Heyman. I used to hear their podcasts, and I used to kind of research on my own online, and maybe googling, and reading up a few research papers, trying to make connections at that time. And
Mm,
coming from a non-science background, I felt I had a little disadvantage because a lot of things I was not able to join the dots. So
mm,
when I went through iThrive Academy's course, and I got a detailed look at what the course is offering, so that's when I realized that they are looking at the physiology first, and then they're doing the root cause analysis. They're making us understand what are the different ailments around us, what are the symptoms of the ailments, and how do you tackle those using functional medicine and using diet as well as lifestyle modalities. So that is something I felt that it was a complete package and I should just go ahead with that.
that is actually how we planned to design it, and we were hoping that everybody is able to see why we move from foundations to advanced knowledge.
Ha,
Why
ha, ha.
very imperative that all people go through that physiology module, go through biochemistry. Everybody hates the word of biochemistry, but why is it so critical that you understand what goes on inside your body, nutrients? These are all basics. For somebody who comes from a nutrition background, it might seem that, okay, this is not something crazy that I'm doing. But when they also enter the course, they're like, oh, I've not seen it from this perspective. Oh, I did not understand this during my uh, degrees.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
for somebody from a non-science background, I can only imagine how important these foundational modules were. But
Yeah.
tell me this, what did you expect the course to be like, and what was it actually like for you? Was it overwhelming? Was it really well spaced out? Was it too easy? Was it too difficult? What was it like?
So, when I was going through terms like insulin resistance and liver detox pathways and gut brain axis, so it was initially overwhelming. But the structure of iThrive course is such that, they explain things very logically, and they make you see the connectedness of different organs of the body and how they are functioning in full tandem with each other. So when I realized the beauty of that, then it just felt very organic. The learning became very organic. And I must say that I've learned from you also, and all the teachers at iThrive, they teach you from the base level. So they do not consider you that you have a medical background or you come from any other background. They teach you from the scratch. So that becomes a very good benchmark from the learning phase of point, because here you're like, climbing the ladder slowly. Like it's not like you're jumping the gun. You're taking your baby steps, but however, you're reaching your ultimate destination. And to look at it, health, of course, it's not a destination. It's a journey that we have to take. And it's an ongoing process. And learning will also be long term and ongoing always.
Agreed. We say this to every batch, new batch also that comes to us. It's not as if that we've been in this field for a while now, so we've stopped learning, we know everything, and it's not going to be the same for you. I think
Yeah.
you were batch
And
16,
and
so
Shagun, you will not believe it that all the courses that iThrive has offered, I do not miss a single chance to enroll for them.
all the short courses, everything.
All short courses I've done because I just enjoy the experience of learning at iThrive so much.
That is so sweet of you and so true.
Yeah.
But okay, but was there like when you were learning about ICFN, or when you were going through any master class, any short course, was there like a specific module or a lesson where something clicked, where you thought and you realized, okay, this is what I was missing in my learning?
Huh. So one thing, like one aha moment that I had during the learning was that, like I was mentioning earlier, that every system in the body is interlinked. Like you have a beautiful vagus nerve which connects your brain to your gut, and whatever you're thinking is directly affecting how your gut is behaving. And similarly, the large quantity of the microbiome that we have, probably more in number of cells and they are present in your system, are also constantly communicating with the brain, giving you those happy signals, giving you those anxiety pangs, having in conversation with your hormones. So, this interconnectedness between the different parts of the body and how, body is a very complex as well as a very simple machinery, I would say that if you give it the right inputs, it has the capacity to heal itself 10x times. So it's just about, hearing it out. It's constantly talking to us. If I'm feeling that I am fatigued and my markers are not showing that, my scans are not showing that. However, when we get to the deep root analysis and understand what is the actual reason, we know that our body is screaming that you're fatigued, you need to rest out. So that is what my basic learning has been from iThrive.
And I think I have to agree with what you said there because, see, this is what I mean. Every field has their own respect. Every field, I'm sure, is right in their foundation of how they treat conditions. But in conventional medicine, in conventional nutrition, we miss this because what we tend to do is when somebody has any health issues, conventionally they give you pills for it, they give you medications for it. That is
Yeah,
suppression, which just means that your body, what it's trying to tell you, it just gets voiced down, correct?
that's right.
So instead of listening to the cues that are happening, you just suppress it completely, which again does not help you in the long run. Correct.
Hmm,
And
hmm,
that is what we also talk about when we talk anything about functional nutrition and functional medicine. But
hmm, hmm,
coming back to the course, right? It's 4 months long and the content is dense, right?
hmm,
We've had a lot of people come and tell us it's overwhelming. Even if
hmm,
doctors join, they also tell us. So
hmm,
how
hmm.
did you handle the intensity, especially coming from a non-science background?
So one thing was for sure that I was very consistent with the classes when I was taking them up. And secondly, I used to revisit them every now and then. So we used to have like 3 times in a week, but after every session, between the next session, I would make sure that I've at least listened to it again, the recording, I've gone back to it again, and also did my due research on the topics which I did not understand. So that was one thing which helped me a lot. And also, you guys have a great way of testing us every few months and, with the content. So that ways we are always updated with our knowledge.
I think if any student is listening to this, take notes because attending live lectures, being in live interaction with the faculty, asking the questions, getting your concepts clarified in the class itself, it makes a huge difference, right? Which is why we run the live lectures. Otherwise, it would have been
Hmm.
very operationally easy for us to do a recorded course and then just phase it out, right? But for us, it's very critical that everybody who comes to us gets that knowledge imbibed in them through the live
Hmm.
lectures. That makes a huge difference. And making your own notes, going through the recordings, because that is something that, like you said, it's very important that you do the homework. You don't take this course lightly because we don't take the certification lightly, right?
Yeah.
How was the exam? Was it easy or was it hard?
Oh, it was not easy at all. I had to go back and I had to study everything again. Like
Exam.
obviously the basic knowledge was always there, and by that time I was practicing also. So I was actually putting my the theoretical knowledge to practice, and case by case and client by client you build and you learn. However, the final diploma program exam, I felt that was very intensive, and your passing marks were also not less. So we had to come out with flying colors if we had to get the diploma.
And you did. The diploma that she's talking about here is the mentorship program that we run.
Yeah.
So again, we design that for the people who feel that they're not confident enough yet to start their own practice. So we have like a one-on-one mentorship program with the nutritionists working at iThrive, where we give them the cases. And every day, tell me, how was the mentorship program? Give it to me in your words.
Yeah. So the mentorship program was involved a lot of handholding, and there were like six case studies which we were supposed to be solving, and every week we were given a format. So as a new pass out, as a new BE from functional medicine, we are yet trying to set our systems and procedures as to what kind of client conversations have to go back and forth with them, what kind of materials do we share with them to educate them, and how to extract the information from them, how do we plan our diets and send it to them, how do we do a root cause analysis, and in what language do we word them out. So there was a specific format also which was shared to us, which honestly became like a SOP for us initially. Obviously, over the period of time, we've kind of upgraded it or maybe changed
Modified.
it,
Yeah.
modified it as per our needs. And but that became the setting point and the starting point, and it gave me a lot of confidence. And even when I was solving the cases initially, when I was doing them on my own, there were a lot of times when I would get stuck with questions, and then I had to Google them or maybe research on them. However, it became so seamless because I could go back to asking my mentor assigned to me that what could be the reason that in case this person has thyroid and it also has a liver dysfunction, what is it that I need to target first? Do I need to work on the liver first, or do I need to work on the thyroid first, or do I need to look at the gut first? So, simple questions which are crossing my mind, I got a chance to clarify all my doubts with the mentors. So that was a great experience.
And you did well because I, I was observing all the students that come, but you
Yeah.
did really well, and it's so good to see people actually applying the knowledge. Because
Huh.
for you to be eligible to come to the mentorship program, you have to pass the ICFN, right? So
Correct.
you have the
Yeah.
theoretical knowledge. It's just that the application is maybe something that we help you with, right? So the
Yeah. That's right.
coaching, how to tackle conditions, we give you the templates also, like literally
Uh-huh.
what we use at iThrive in terms of diet and supplement templates. We give you all of that so that you feel more confident in your practice, right? We don't want
That's
to
right.
keep anything, because at the end of the day, our vision is also to heal the world, and that's through people like
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
that pass on the same healing, pass on the same knowledge to your own clients.
Yeah. And that's a really big forte, I must say, that iThrive has, because it does not keep its knowledge to itself. One thing I would like to say that about peptides. Now, peptides is such an upcoming thing and the more of the knowledge is not there in India, but in US, you hear a lot of people who are into wellness and functional medicine. They're talking big time about peptides. And Mukta took this course of peptides. This is like almost a year back, and she like was unabashedly like she shared all the information that she had. She did not want to keep anything to herself. So that's the biggest quality I find in iThrive, that they like to share their learnings. And when the leaders are growing and the people attached to the leaders are also growing, it's a very win-win situation then.
Correct. At least we all are working towards a common goal. There's no competition when it comes to somebody's healing. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just helping people get back to their true health.
That's right.
And how long after graduating did you
Hmm.
get your first client? And or was it like, I think you were practicing before only. So what was that like?
So, after I finished my course at ICFN, I started applying the knowledge to my friends and to my families. And, somewhere or the other, they started feeling that there's a difference that is coming about in their life and in their health. So that's when it works like a hub and spoke model, like the friends tell their other friends, the family members bring their other family members. And that's how you get the encouragement and confidence. So, I became confident that when I was reading a report, I was actually not looking at the numbers, but I was looking at the story which is there behind the client's symptoms and their health. I got the confidence to actually tell the client that, the fatigue that you're feeling is actually your fatigue, that it's not a manifestation of your mind. So
Yeah.
let's work on it. Let's get to the root cause of it. So here, that ways, I was just stepping up the ladder one by one, and then 2 years back, me and Nithi, she's a co-founder of Prana, we started our brand. And since then, it's been no looking back. We've handled over 50 plus clients and
Oh,
coming
wow.
from all genres. We have been extremely grateful that we've been able to help people with Hashimoto's, other autoimmunities like psoriasis. We worked on a few gut cases with intense GERD and hiatus hernia. Then metabolic disorders like reducing the HbA1cs, working on liver dysfunctions and skin problems. Also, like with perimenopausal women who has stuck weight
Oh, wow.
and who are not able to break their leptin. And leptin was such a new thing which was taught to us only in iThrive. And Mugda had brought it up so beautifully how you should be managing your meals, how you should start your day, how, so it was given
Circadian
to us
rhythm,
as
everything. Yeah.
yeah, it was given to us step by step by step. Like, what do we have to do in this case comes up? So the challenge became in identifying and picking, because as we were working with the clients, that what protocol will fit where, and that obviously comes with practice, with experience,
Yeah.
and things happen very organically later on.
Mm. That's lovely. Now that you have your own venture, you have a partner, you're doing so well. It's always so great to hear such successful stories of our alumni doing so well in their own ventures. But tell me, what did ICFN give you that your own healing experience alone couldn't? Like, was it child's health, maybe with somebody, some loved ones? What was it that ICFN was able to provide to you that you
Uh,
could learn from that experience?
See, there's a lot of jargon which is available online. You start scrolling over Instagram. One person will say that good fat is good, but also, like, what is the definition of a fat? Is it good fat? Is it a bad fat? How much of ghee you're supposed to have? How much of coconut you're supposed to have? But actually, when you understand the technicalities of a thing, when you go through a report and you find out that the cholesterol level, the lipoprotein A of a person is already very high, the
Mhm.
stickiness, the viscosity of the blood is so high that even if we want to give them good fat, it's not a great idea at that time. So this is something that I learned from iThrive. That, reading beyond the lines, going
Yeah.
through the reports beyond then what the numbers are actually saying, making correlations between the different metabolism activities which are happening and coexisting, and how your gut is playing, the axis is playing not only with your brain but with your liver, with your reproduction organs. So everything is interconnected, and this logic I thrive helped us.
Mm. That is so beautiful. To actually hear all these technical terms also and to know that you'll actually all that knowledge that was being disseminated, it's actually getting imbibed, it's coming into practice for everyone.
Yeah,
Uh, because not a lot of people, like nobody talks about lipoprotein A in general. Nobody even used to talk about triglycerides. Everybody was stuck on cholesterol. So something
yeah,
like this also as nuanced as that to come
mm-hmm.
into limelight, that's very important. Okay, and my next question is going to be, I think, something that the students ask very often, that
Mm-hmm.
what does your income look like now compared to before? Because you worked before uh, as a baker in your
Yes.
commerce field as well. And is your income the right measure of seeing if the switch was worth it or not?
Um, so, I would say that income is a byproduct of this journey. Because initially, when you start out, you might not see, like, unless you're attached to a person who's already practicing and, has a successful practice.
Mm.
So, where is the income coming from? It's coming from the people whom you're healing. And
Correct.
it depends upon the number of clients you're able to generate through the month.
Mm.
However, it's a slow journey, but I feel that if you're consistent over a period of time, you do not need to advertise, you do not need to market. Your own work will speak for itself, because
True.
that's how our journey has been. there was a point when we started investing in Instagram and, sharing out reels. But
Yeah.
however, we felt that the traction in it was just not for viewership. It was not translating into clients. What
Mm.
actually gave helped us build our brand was that when we worked on a one-to-one basis, we did not look at the number of clients we were working at. We were looking at the quality that we were offering to the limited number of clients. So
Correct.
these are the people one happy person is going to bring back for other people to you.
Mm.
So over a period of time, you build your clientele, and I feel it's a byproduct. And by the end of it, of course, you're going to make like good money if you're going to you reach that stage where people start trusting you and they have confidence in your abilities.
True. And I think it's also more to do with your purpose as a person, right? As a
Yeah.
human, there's also something like a lot of people that we get in our academies also are people who have switched careers. Maybe they were engineers, maybe they were in IT, finance, whatever. But even earning big bucks there, that did not satisfy their soul being, right? So they were like, I felt like this was not my calling. I needed to switch. Even in ages like 40s, 50s,
Yeah.
they wanted to do that so that they could just be at peace with what they had to do in life.
That's
Right.
so true. That's so true.
Okay, and my last question to you is that what you are doing now, could you do it before ICFN? And if someone like you, like from the same background, same doubts, similar kind of experience in healing journeys, if somebody is watching this right now, what would you tell them?
My what my 2 cents would be to everyone watching this show would be, or maybe who's trying to find their calling in functional medicine and with a healing journey, would be to just jump into it.
Mm.
Don't wait for the right moment. You don't have to hit the rock bottom like I had done during the time with my son's health to
Mm.
get back to wellness. Your health is always in communication with you. It's trying to always send you signals. So ICFN course will provide you with the skills to understand that communication, to pick up the signals, and to move forward to in your wellness journey.
Okay. So thank you so much, Tina. It was lovely catching up with you. Lovely to hear your story, hear your entire transition that happened. And I'm so glad to hear that you're doing well, your family is doing well, everybody is happy now. So thank you so much for being such a critical part of our community. Right? You've been attending, like you said, you've been attending all everything that we bring out.
Yes.
Okay, so it's good to have such association and more power to you.
Thank you so much, Akun. You guys always feel like family, extended family to us. Thank you so much.
That's so sweet. Okay. Thank you guys. See you
Okay.
soon.
Bye.